All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition to the Fandom Effect Podcast, and Merry Christmas as well, since this will air the day before Christmas. So happy holidays and all that fun stuff. We didn't want to take a break because there's way too much stuff to talk about to take a break. So myself, the Bushido Geek, aka the Shogun of Fandom, joined by Sam the Man, as always. Now
Hi.
we are going to talk Spider-Man. So I'll say it now because I'm not going to say it again. Massive spoilers.
Massive.
For the new Spider-Man movie. So if you hate spoilers or you don't want to know what's going on or whatever, you probably should stop listening now until you watch the movie, and then you can go back and you can play this episode. So this is your one warning: massive spoilers for the new Spider-Man movie.
The whole thing is just one big giant spoiler.
Yeah, it's essentially what, like, we're gonna obviously grade it and give our thoughts on it, but I mean it's gonna be a massive spoiler. So
Yeah. So watch
yeah.
it, then come back to us.
Yeah. So I think the way we'll jump into this is, a lot of people have said like this is the best Marvel movie ever, and we both disagree with that. So I
Yeah.
want to find out why you disagree with that.
Well, I don't think it's a bad movie. I
No,
think
it's an amazing movie.
Still a good movie.
It's amazing.
One of the better movies.
Oh, it's in my top 3.
I have a hard time distincting my favorites from things. So I cannot give you what my top 3 is right now. I could not tell you where it ranked, but it's ranked pretty high.
I think for me it's like Endgame, probably the first Ant-Man because I'm a huge Ant-Man fan.
Uh-huh.
And then probably No Way Home.
It's understandable. I wish I could give it to you, but being put on the spot, I could not. Thor Ragnarok is probably one after that. Beats the hell out of me.
Yeah, it is a good one. But so it's a pretty long movie too.
2 hours and 28 minutes.
It's definitely long. There's two after credit scenes, which we'll get into, but kind of. Well, one and a half, I guess. I guess you really don't count one.
The other one was kind of just like a trailer to the Doctor Strange movie.
Right. Yeah. So that's, I mean, I guess because they don't know if Tom Holland's going to come back as Spider-Man, so you can't say Spider-Man will return because
correct.
They don't know if he is.
Correct, like they do in most movies.
Yeah. So it was probably smart to try to build up some hype for Doctor Strange 2, since it's been like 12 years since the first one came out.
12.
I don't know. It's been a long time. But
let me Google it.
Yeah. So the movie definitely starts, like, it literally picks up right where the first one left, like where the last movie left off, with his identity being exposed as Spider-Man. 2016.
12 years, my butt.
Feels way longer than that. But that's how it starts. Like, so credit to them. It picks up right where the last one left off. He's sitting in downtown, and Mysterio exposes his identity. That he's, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and immediately just like, I mean, what you would expect, pure chaos.
Right.
He's like running around with MJ and like swinging through town, and everyone's taking pictures of him and all that stuff.
Right.
You have thoughts?
No, I thought my mic wasn't working for like a hot second. Oh. We're good. That's why I was like, no, yeah, right.
So, I don't know. What do you think of the way it started? I mean, I think it started pretty like balls to the wall.
Oh.
With just him running around like crazy.
It was 0 to 60 from the get-go. We started at 60.
Yeah.
And then we ended at 100.
Yeah, we ended at like a real depressing. So, obviously, I managed to avoid any trailer before seeing this movie. So, all I knew is
Kudos to you.
Yeah, all I knew is that Doc Ock showed up, because, people can't avoid everything.
No. So, did you not know the other Spider-Men were going to be in it?
No, I mean, I, like, assumed.
Uh-huh.
Like, just because, like, the other two guys, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, were being, like, so fake coy about it that
right.
It became pretty obvious that they were going to be in the movie a little bit. Which it was done pretty smart, but obviously, so the first main cameo was Daredevil.
Oh my god.
Which
That was not who I was expecting.
yeah.
Like, that wasn't the cameo I thought we would be getting. I ain't mad about it.
Yeah, which was pretty awesome considering I can't remember what the exact quote was, but he had pretty much said Marvel would have to like fight him to cast someone else as Daredevil in the movies.
I mean, honestly.
Well, because he did it like perfect.
Right.
And so then Marvel announced that they were going to bring him back into the universe again, but like the movie universe as Daredevil.
Oh, I 100% think this was Marvel slowly trying to pull the Netflix TV shows into the MCU.
At least some of it. I think he's probably going to be the only one because he was probably out of the four of them. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was the only one that was like the most loved. Like Luke Cage, a lot of people love, but it's Luke Cage. No offense, you can probably recast that pretty easily. Like that guy did a really good job as Luke Cage, but you could easily recast Luke Cage, and Luke Cage isn't as iconic. Most people hated the guy who did Iron Fist, and
right.
Jessica Jones would not do well in a movie.
See, out of minus Matt Murdock, I would like to see Jessica Jones back in anything. Like, she could get her own like Disney Plus kind of shtick, and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I just don't see her thing doing well in a movie. I think there's not enough value for a movie. But
100%.
Yeah.
TV show I like.
Yeah, but they did it very smart where he gets a lawyer and it just happens to be Matt Murdock. And just I love like he just catches the brick flying through the window and he's just like, how did you do that? And I'm a really good lawyer.
I'm a damn good lawyer.
Yeah, and like it's Spider-Man. Obviously, he's like, okay, sure, that's normal.
Okay.
But I thought that was a nice little touch of like,
I enjoyed that.
He knows he's Daredevil, so he chooses to represent Spider-Man. I was like, that's a nice touch.
Do feel like they kind of blew over the whole Spider-Man killed Mysterio rather like quickly.
Yeah, they kind of mentioned all the trial and charges, and then there's like no.
And then Matt Murdock's
actual thing of it. Yeah, he's like, it's not going to stick. And there's no go back to of like, oh, what happened? Why are all the charges? I mean, I guess because there's technically no proof.
Right. Well,
like everyone can believe him. But I mean, really, if there's no actual picture or anything, or like, because he had his voice, but like, there's no picture or video of like him in the spider suit with his mask off. So it was just pretty much public opinion that it was him. But legally, there's no actual proof. So Matt, that was probably what he argued, was that there was no actual physical proof. So even though it was probably likely that he's Spider-Man, legally there's no proof that he's Spider-Man.
Right. That was just my thought.
Yeah. But still really good, though. Mm-hmm. And then it pretty much just jumps right into, like, him meeting up with Doctor Strange, which I thought was a nice little, like... He's like, oh, that's right, I do know, like, gods and...
I thought it was so funny that it was just that little, like, string lights of a vampire. He looked at that and went, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I also love it, too, how where they come back and he's like, wait, I thought you were the Sorcerer Supreme. And he's like, no, Wong wanted on a technicality. I got blipped for 5 years, so I wasn't here.
That I also thought that was hilarious. And the two good. Just, like, synchronized shoveling in the corner.
Yeah. When I'm like, why didn't you just use magic to... All right, well...
Right.
But yeah, it jumps into a lot of different things. And then, so I also love too, where he like, so they jump right into like that he's casting the forget spell. So everyone will forget that he's Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And he immediately panics because he thinks that MJ won't be going out with him anymore. and Ned and Albert Elfson. So he
And his
changes.
Aunt May and everybody.
Yeah. So Doctor Strange keeps making changes to it, and then essentially breaks the spell.
Peter shouldn't just worry about it. If it's that difficult and you want them to know, you can tell them again. I don't think it would be that difficult to be like, "Hi, I'm Spider-Man."
Yeah. But it wouldn't have been that hard to just recreate the same scenarios again. But
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just forgetting that you're Spider-Man. They're not forgetting what Spider-Man did to them.
Yeah. They're not like, "Oh, who's Spider-Man?"
Yeah, and she already had figured it out before, so she would. It's not like she wouldn't still have the same suspicions.
Yeah, no, MJ's pretty smart.
Like she would have still in her head been thinking he's probably Spider-Man, and then he just could have been like, "Oh yeah, I'm Spider-Man." But breaks the spell, and then that's when you get the break in the multiverse, and all the people from the other two Spider-Man worlds start coming into their universe. So it's Doc Ock, the static guy, and I can't remember what his name is.
Max something.
Yeah. Sandman, Green Goblin.
And Dr. Connors.
Yeah, and Dr. Connors, yeah. Who I felt was the most underrepresented. Like, all the
He
rest
really
of them...
didn't do much in the movie.
Yeah, the rest of them had, like, these big moments or, like, this big character thing, and then it was like, oh, right, and there's this lizard guy.
There's a lizard guy.
Too,
the dinosaur can talk.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think it was funny. They were like, where Peter's just like, and one, and I was like, and two, I didn't know you could talk.
Right. I enjoyed, like, I think Doc Ock had, like, the most, I don't want to say screen time, but had the most, like, integral part in that compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, all of the villains were good in the movie, but like you said, that and Sandman was just kind of chilling.
Yeah. He didn't really do a whole lot.
No, he just kind of dusted up.
Yeah. So, what do you want to jump in? So after that, that's when you get a lot of stuff with like the villains, and they're all doing like, he's trying to cure him and all that, and fights with Doctor Strange. Like
you know who I thought we were gonna see was Norman Harry Osborn. I thought he was gonna show up at some point too, but he didn't. But I guess that makes a little sense because his dad was the one that showed up, not his dad.
Yeah.
Green Goblin was from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Harry Osborn's from The Amazing Spider-Man. So I would have enjoyed seeing that and seeing the conflict within Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. But I guess I can't have everything.
Yeah. It's like they tried to give each of them like little moments like from their movies, Toby trying to get Tom Holland's Spider-Man to not do the mistakes he did when he lost himself. Murder. Yeah. And then Andrew Garfield is making references to giving into the dark side, which I feel like was probably my guess was supposed to be the premise of the Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Uh-huh.
That they never did because then like the MCU kind of exploded at that point and they decided to recast it. My thought is that the third movie would have been like him not pulling, like, because he says like I stopped pulling my punches,
right?
Which is reference to I killed a crap ton of people,
right?
So my thought was the third Amazing Spider-Man movie would have been him going into the dark, like not even Venom, but just becoming. I'm assuming there's a version of Spider-Man where he's not controlled by Venom, but he just goes full dark side.
You know how many freaking Spider-Man comics there are? Absolutely, something
there's
like that happened.
Yeah. And my guess is that was supposed to be the premise, and that we would have seen Spider-Man legit kill people.
Well, speaking of The Amazing Spider-Man 3, since last night to last time I checked it this morning, The Amazing Spider-Man 3 has been trending on Twitter.
Yeah, people are trying to get it back.
It's what Andrew Garfield deserves.
He does. I mean, the rest of them got a third one. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not going to at
No,
all,
never.
because they're not gonna go back to a past Spider-Man, and then like if Tom Holland agrees or they decide to go the Miles Morales route, like you can't like they're never gonna do it, because you'd have to have your last Spider-Man be like the mentor to Miles Morales, so it would have to be Tom Holland.
Right.
And so there's just nothing. It sucks, because I feel like that would have been a great, if that was the idea for the third movie, is to have a Spider-Man legit just killing people,
Right.
and he just goes super dark. That would have been really good. But I love how they gave him the saving moment of he saves MJ in the same way that
God, yes.
he lost Gwen.
I just felt so bad for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in that movie.
Yeah.
And Tobey Maguire going, "You're amazing.
Yeah.
You're amazing."
Just the little you were the amazing Spider-Man, like.
And when they were doing Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 3, he was Peter 3. That's What did that man do?
Yeah.
I was like, this poor man suffering.
They did a really good job of when all three of them were there, giving him the Spider-Man multiverse moments of it was also really funny when they all shoot their webs and Toby's just comes out of him and they both freak out.
I know, when Toby's like, what web fluid? What web shooter?
Yeah, he's like, it just comes out of my body, and they're and they both flip out, and then they pause and then immediately start probing with questions does it come out of other places?
Or just your wrist? Or how do you do that? Do you run out? What?
But, yeah, and they're I don't want to get too personal. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but
And he's like, no, buddy, I don't know.
He's like, it just kind of is there. They're like, that's so weird.
Right. I do find that interesting that the first Spider-Man was the only one that could physically shoot
just
web
naturally
shooters,
do it, yeah.
and the other two had to make web shooters to do it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I felt like the one moment I wish they could have maybe delved into a little more is when so the main thing is that Spider-Man's trying to cure all the villains, right? Because he wants to send them back with a second chance at life, even though half the ones that you're sending back, even though you've cured them, they're still immediately dying when you send them back.
Depends on what point he yoinked them from.
Well, because they all said they got yoinked right before death. Because the Electro guy says, yeah, the last thing I remember is I was sucking up all this juice, before he overloaded and exploded.
Right.
And then, was it? Doc Ock is saying the last thing I remember is Spider-Man trying to stop me from activating the machine. So they were all grabbed from the moment right before death.
Well, maybe they'll just poof back to their timeline, stick their hands in the air and go, I surrender.
Yeah, so I guess it'll be, we're never going to know, but I guess it'll be interesting to see if they'll get sent back alive or dead. But I guess assuming alive.
Marvel, just give me a 30-minute show on Disney Plus, just
of what happens when they
what happens to them. Just one 30-minute show. I'll deal with that.
Yeah.
And Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, and Andrew Garfield, yeah.
And Andrew Garfield.
But they they're fighting all the villains and stuff and trying to cure him, and obviously it's Green Goblin, you're pretty much waiting for him to
go bananas.
I thought they were gonna have Doc Ock go bananas, so I was genuinely surprised when I thought it was gonna be both, so I was actually surprised when, because they have him, they fixed the chip on Doc Ock, so he regains control of the AI and the tentacles. Mm-hmm. But then you see Electro shocking him, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna fry the chip. Mm-hmm. So then both of them will betray him at the end. But I was actually impressed that Doc Ock sticks up and tries fighting for himself,
right?
And helping out. Too. Yeah, which was pretty nice. Mm-hmm. And then and then they get and then we get the massive fight between the three Spider-Man and all the other guys.
I also liked how Tom Holland Spider-Man is I don't want to brag or anything, but I'm an Avenger, and the other guys are oh my god, that's so cool. What's an Avenger?
What's an Avenger? And then he's like, wait,
Like-
you guys don't have like the
He's like-
Avengers where you're from?
We don't have time to talk about it.
Yeah, and he's like, what's the weirdest villain you ever fought? And Tobey Maguire was like, oh, I fought a black
I fought an
entity.
alien.
Yeah, I fought like an alien. So he's, Venom, essentially. He's like saying,
Yeah.
I fought Venom. And then Tom Holland's like, yeah, I fought this alien on Earth, and then I fought him in space, and he was purple and was obsessed with stones.
Yeah, and
And
Andrew
then-
Garfield's like, man, I'm lame. I haven't fought any aliens.
I fought like a giant metal rhino thing. That's about it. And they're like, you're not lame, man.
I promise.
They have to like pick him up because he's just fought the lamest villains.
Again, I felt so bad for that man in that movie.
Yeah, they really like it was funny. They dove into like the fact that like because a lot of people, poke fun at the fact that he's the only one to not get a third movie, and they really hammered in on that to like.
Yeah, poor man.
I know, it was just bad timing.
Truly. But also, you brought up Rhino. So you know how in the end of the movie where like the multiverse was like ripping apart and all the other
Yeah,
people were trying on over. So I couldn't look hard enough with my eyes. And the only like person I could recognize in that like was Rhino.
yeah. I think
I don't know if you've seen anybody.
I did remember seeing Rhino. I think if you go back, and I'm sure articles will come out in the next couple days with the image fully dissected and broken apart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing at some point you're going to see the entire Sinister Six
Right.
in the background because that was supposed to be the premise of the third movie in part. It was also supposed to be the introduction of the Sinister Six.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get a chance to really look at anybody else because again, you're trying to look at everything and
There's so much happening.
Yeah, and you're seeing the movie like obviously for the first time, so you're trying to get like an overall feel like for what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the ending was very well done where they do all the fight, they stop Tom Holland from going dark side, which not really because it's like he didn't make the choice of his own free will to not kill Green Goblin. Tobey Maguire just stopped him and they got to that stalemate of like they both weren't holding back.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh, that's right, we're pretty much equal strength.
Right. Also, funny but not funny. Funny when Green Goblin just like up and stabbed Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
and Andrew Garfield's like, "Oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, no, I've been stabbed.
I've been stabbed before.
a bunch of times. It's fine.
And then
I'll live."
they're standing there as he's saying goodbye to his friends, and he's just like, "You're in a tremendous amount of pain right now, aren't you?" Yeah, so much.
Yeah, so much pain. So much pain.
It's just so much pain. Which I thought was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll jump to like the ends, then we can talk about the end credits and what they're potentially setting up.
Oh wait. I got one more thing before we talk about the end.
Okay.
Ned, magic powers?
Yeah. Yeah. He
What
just
the
starts. He just starts using the blink ring.
He's like,
And
I
the-
just wish that we could see Peter, and then the portal opens.
Yeah, and that was a very smart way to bring in the other two.
Yeah.
They got sucked into the universe, but like they didn't know where they were, so he blink ring, which also begs the question of like technically, well, because they say it in Doctor Strange, right, that anyone can technically, like, it's not because Ned actually has like magic, like that he's from like, isn't it because don't they say it in Doctor Strange that everyone has innate magic in them?
I think so, but I think like Strange took forever to figure this shit out. Meanwhile, Ned was like, and done. So
That's true.
I think he may have a little bit, and that just like accelerated it, which is why his like grandma was like, "There's magic in us. Don't worry." And the fact that his grandma was like, "Yo, can you get the cobweb
That was pretty funny.
while you're up there?"
He's like, my grandma wants to know if you can just go grab the cobweb, like since you're already up there.
And can you
Like,
clean up
might
the
as
mess
well.
you two made?
Yeah, my grandma says clean up the webs that you guys just shot at each other. It was there was definitely a lot of funny moments and like
Right.
sad moments, like obviously Aunt May dying. Which the way she did, like where they fake you out, where she gets
she,
hit by
like-
the glider
I swear to God.
and then gets up and they're walking out and all of a sudden she just collapses from the wound that you didn't see until that moment.
Right.
I was like, nice swerve, Marvel.
Way
Like,
to
that's
rip
a
my
good
heart out.
swerve. Yeah. But like, so yeah, MA dies. The whole thing with Happy is pretty funny. But like they're building up, like obviously like you don't realize until after, but like they were really building up the friendship between him and his friends, and like the stuff with MIT where none of them get in because
They know
he's
Spider-Man.
yeah, and he goes out of his way to make sure that they all get a second chance. As long as they can keep their heads clean, which he pretty much realizes is going to be impossible for him. So that's why he tells them, and that one when they're leaving Doctor Strange place, he tells them like, you two can't get involved. Like
You have
no
to
one
stay
can.
clean.
Yeah, no one can see you getting involved. So you have deniability that you were helping me out.
Right. To better your
Like,
chances to get into MIT.
yeah, but they don't know that like he's really done any of this yet.
Right.
So they're building up all like this second chance, college, MIT, blah blah blah, and then like the multiverse is essentially breaking. Doctor Strange is like, nope, spell broke. That he's contained. Like it's broken. I can't stop it. I'm not strong enough. Everyone from every world is gonna seep into this one, and which obviously the world would essentially just explode.
Yeah. What do you think, timestamp wise? Where do you think that lined up with Loki? Because when you think about it, they also broke the thing to keep the multiverse in check.
Yeah.
So where do you think that inlined? Like, you know what I'm saying?
This is where time theory and superhero stuff gets so complicated.
That's what I'm saying.
Because like they just say whatever they want, but you're like, but none of this timeline makes sense.
But I don't understand what year it is.
Yeah, because there's so much. It's hard to say because now that you know that Doctor Strange was technically not the Sorcerer Supreme, like you know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, did Loki take place during like when he wasn't Sorcerer Supreme? In which case he doesn't know or doesn't have the power to stop the things that are going on. Because obviously Wong's not as powerful.
Right.
It's I don't know.
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question because I don't know in Loki is there ever a scene where like the multiverse just breaks and they don't know what happened?
No, it's like the end of the season and the thing like they killed that Nathaniel. It like snaps and starts like worming all around. I almost wanted to think that was like that had to happen first.
Yeah, probably.
Because
They're probably trying to keep it a little bit separate so everyone's not
so
like
confusing. Marvel, can
it's
you
very confusing.
email me?
Yeah,
Tell me
tell us
what timeline.
Tell us all the secrets.
No, not all of them. I just need to know what timeline.
No, I want to know all of them.
Okay, well, you can email me separately.
I want to know all the secrets, and then I'm gonna ruin everything for everyone forever.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
Then you just see a little laser dot like right on your forehead.
No, Mickey Mouse just shows up and like just threatens me.
Oh my god.
I would do a Mickey Mouse voice, but my throat's dry, and I like.
Oh, okay, please save me from that.
Yeah. Otherwise, I totally would.
Shut up.
Like, because that would be amazing.
Oh my god.
I mean, we'd lose every listener we have right now. But
yeah, no, 100%. So let's not do that.
But like pure amazing.
Okay. Like, well, you can do it later.
Okay, I'll send you a clip.
Thank God.
Yeah. So they get to like it's breaking, and then he like Tom Holland's Peter Parker says Doctor Strange like, what if everyone just forgets? You know, he asks, like, can't we do the original spell? And Strange says, no, it's too late because the whole world knows who you are, and it's already breaking. We can't do that. And he's just like, well, what if everyone forgets who I am? Like who Tom Holland is.
Bit extreme.
Yeah, super extreme. And he's like, that would work, but he's like, but you realize that means everyone forgets you. Like every record of you disappears from everything.
Yeah, how hard it'd be to get it.
You couldn't.
Social Security card?
You'd have to like, yeah. I mean, like you'd have to like they would look you up, realize there's no record of you, and then they'd have to like you'd have to they could still issue you stuff, but like it would.
You'd have to John Doe that
You're
situation real hard.
yeah. You're starting over from essentially ground zero.
Right. Where'd all the
Now-
money here and go?
Yeah. Now, mind you, from being Spider-Man, he does know a lot of shady people. It probably wouldn't be too hard for him to like contact like Childish Gambino, that guy, and be like, "Hey,
Not
I need
Childish
like you know what I
Gambino.
mean? Like, hey, I need a fake ID and a fake social security number."
Hey.
Like, I mean, like,
Childish Gambino would be like, and who are you?
yeah, but
Who
like,
are you?
but yeah, but like, you could easily get away with it. Like, he knows enough shady people, he could probably figure it out. But to me, I was watching the theater and I was like, that is such like a drastic ending to where like.
Yeah.
Like, because then he tells his friends, like, you're about to forget who I am. And they're like, wait, what? And he's like, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. I'll come find you guys. And
You'll remember.
We'll all be okay again. And they're like, but they're all like, all right, if you say so. And then he finds them and sees that they both got into MIT. And he's about to, like, try to explain who he is. Because he sees MJ do the hair flip thing.
Yeah, and it like
which
shows the Band-Aid on her forehead from her getting hurt.
Yeah, but it's like the brief moment because I think in the first movie or whatever, someone says to him when she does that, it means that she likes it. Like she likes whatever she's looking at.
I don't know.
I swear in the first movie or whatever, she does the hair flip, and
We'll
that's
go
how
back
he.
and watch it.
Yeah, well, because I feel like that's because the moment where she does the hair flip, and to me that was like him seeing, oh, she's still interested in me, or she has like, she likes me, but then he sees the cut and goes, oh, that's right. If I tell them what's going on,
They'll just get hurt.
They'll just get hurt again. So it's probably best they're gonna go off to MIT. It's in a different state. Because MIT's in Massachusetts, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So like he's like different state. They'll never see me again. I'll stay here in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was super sad. They're like panning over his like studio apartment.
Yeah, his like.
And it pans over like the
bedroom apartment.
And it pans over like the GED study guide. And I was like,
that's
right.
Man.
I was like, that's right. You're insanely smart, but there's no record of you in high school.
Right.
Or graduating or anything. So
True.
The record would be that you're just essentially that you've just never attended school.
Right. They're going to be like, what? How'd this kid get so smart?
Yeah. Which I think harkens back to, didn't Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man go to a community college or something?
I don't remember the last time I watched Tobey Maguire's
I don't remember
Spider-Man.
either.
Don't ask me.
Yeah, I don't know if they've done that before.
I get shit on because I say I like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man more, and then Eddie just laughs at me.
Oh no, so do I.
Shut up.
I think Andrew Garfield's way better than Tobey Maguire.
Oh, thank God.
I thought to date out of now there's 8 of them, 9 if you count the Spider-Verse movie, but I don't count that because that's pure animated. Out of the 8 motion pictures that we've gotten, Tobey Maguire's are all 3 at the bottom for me, with the third Tobey Maguire movie being at the very, very bottom.
The very bottomest.
That one's pure trash.
That's so funny. I should watch it again.
I hate that movie.
I should watch it.
It's so bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so everyone forgets who he is. They pan over like that sad scene of his apartment. And don't miss out on your rent. You're out on your ass, and that's when you realize like Aunt May's dead. There's no record of him. Like he has no money.
Right.
He doesn't tell Happy who he is because Happy knows who Spider-Man is. Mm-hmm. Like obviously, because everyone still remembers that there was a Spider-Man. They just don't remember who.
Right. Because Happy was like, "How did
is.
you know her?" And he was like, through Spider-Man." And he's
because they're at Aunt May's grave. Like because in the moment you see him thinking about being like, hey, because he makes reference to that he lost another friend like that, referencing Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
And he at that moment could have easily been like, hey, I'm Spider-Man, and then obviously shown that he's Spider-Man. And Happy would have like taken him in and like would have like obviously helped him out, and he would have been he would have had probably a future but he purposely chooses to just not say a word to anyone.
Right. And like if he would tell one person, I would think that one person would be Doctor Strange.
Right, because then Strange could maybe like
person.
help him out or something. In some way, maybe.
I feel like Doctor Strange would be the easiestly the best one to convince that something like that happened. Like if you went, yeah, I'm Spider-Man, but nobody remembers. Anybody else on the random street would be like, nah, sounds sketchy.
Sure you are. Sure you are. Right. But so we already said it, but the last trailer thing is just a trailer for the new Doctor Strange movie, which is like a tease between Wanda starting to break the multiverse, and then Doctor Strange fully breaking. So they pretty much
multiverse snapped.
Yeah, they pretty much say in the trailer, like for the next Doctor Strange movie at the end of Spider-Man, that like even though he did the spell, the multiverse had broken too much to be fully fixed. So now like he's essentially broken the multiverse.
And I'm sure what Loki didn't help.
Yeah, and so it's like finally the culmination of all these things happening has now just yeah, it worked too. Yeah. They both words worked.
Both words.
That's how smart I am.
Smart. Yeah. Also, can we talk about Dark Doctor Strange from What If?
Yeah, bringing What If into the scenario a little bit here. Because
it is technically canon.
It is. That's existed. I think that's existed before. What If?
Yeah, in like comics there were What If too.
Yeah.
So like,
because technically this isn't the newest run of What If. Isn't there was a run of What If before, right? Or is that the first run?
There's only one run of What If on Disney Plus. There's only one run of What If.
No, I meant the comics. Wasn't there like an earlier run?
Man, they've been doing What If since like the 80s.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
I've got a really old What If Loki comic. It's
that might
what
be,
if
yeah.
Loki possessed the power of Thor.
Yeah. So Dark Doctor Strange.
I think I'll seen that.
They obviously show like the multiverse breaking, and they show the guy from the first Doctor Strange movie, like that villain. So that was smart. They easily could have just gone the multiverse route, but bringing him involved is smart because it connects everything that you were doing up till this point. So that was definitely a smart way to go about it.
I'm kind of excited because this is supposed to be like a horror movie. And this will be like Marvel's first take in horror and like real horror.
Like a darker movie.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty interesting.
And like I hate horror movies, but I'm jazzed to see this one.
Yeah. And then so the two other big teases are they show Tom Holland or not Tom Holland, Jesus.
Come on, you got it.
I know I don't because I'm blanking right now.
What are you talking about?
You know I'm talking Venom, but I don't know why I'm blanking on the guy's name.
Oh, in the Eddie Brock?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Got it. I was like, who the fuck is he?
Yeah, so yeah, Eddie Brock, they show him he's in Mexico.
Oh,
getting a bartender to like constantly explain what happened in this world.
He's just got like a pen and paper and notes that are like a purple guy
trying to like connect dots of like there's like Rock's purple guy
and people like disappeared.
Yeah, and then he's like, all right, whatever, let's go find this Spider-Man, and then he disappears, and then they show like that a little Venom had left himself a piece of himself behind.
Yeah. So what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I think if Tom Holland agrees to go back, or even if they go the Miles Morales route where they just bring in a new Spider-Man, but it's set in the same universe, this has left them the door open to connect Venom to the current universe.
So a thought I had was Flash Thompson also becomes Venom.
Yes.
However, I don't see this Flash Thompson.
No, that wouldn't work.
No, but I think they may do a different character than Eddie.
I think they'll just do that. They might just do that universe as Eddie Brock. Because you could still do Eddie Brock because they haven't introduced Eddie Brock at all in this universe.
Yeah, but I don't know how well that would go over them introducing a new Eddie Brock. Because everybody loves Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
Find me one person that doesn't love Tom Hardy.
True, but I feel like either you bring in him or you got to recast it somehow in some way. Is there another Venom besides those two in the comics?
Let me tell you.
Like, I'm
Let
sure
me
there's a
tell
ton,
you.
but is there like a main one?
This past summer ran the King in Black, which is the like god of the symbiotes, and he was able to be connected to every single person that was ever connected to the Venom symbiote. And when I tell you that body pile was high, it was high. Like, it was Captain America was connected at one point. Like, the list of everybody in the comics that have been by Venom is
so
high.
it's easily done. You know what would be a good route to go with it? Well, because they make that reference to Ned being like, "Don't worry, man, I won't ever turn supervillain on you and try to kill you." And then obviously Ned in the comics is Hobgoblin. Just saying, since they don't remember who he is, if he came back and Venom took over his former best friend who doesn't remember him,
I think I'd cry.
Right? But wouldn't that be so good, though?
Oh, my God.
Like, oh, that'd be so good. All right, if this happens, I'm timestamping this and then emailing Marvel an invoice for, like, $10 million. So this is timestamped. This was my idea.
It is currently December 20th, 5:12 p.m. I don't know when you're going to be listening to this.
Yeah, but I'm saying
that's
it.
what we're recording it right now.
This is our idea, all right?
Yeah, our idea.
Our idea. Well, my idea, but I'll give you some of the money.
Yes. Thank you for being so generous.
Of course. And then so pretty much the last big review on the same time is so they're bringing a lot of stuff together. So that's kind of the last big thing for Spider-Man. But I'm only mentioning this. So this is a spoiler from the last. Are you caught up on Hawkeye?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so this is a spoiler from last episode of Hawkeye, but I'm only bringing it up because Marvel's announced they're bringing Matt Murdock into the MCU again. They obviously bring him into this movie to start connecting Daredevil the dots a little bit. And the last episode of Hawkeye introduces Kingpin.
Yes. I literally was sitting on the couch because me and my whole family will watch Hawkeye together. And it was me sitting on the couch going, not Kingpin, not the Kingpin. And my dad's like, who's Kingpin? I was like,
just like, all right, sit down. Let me crack my knuckles.
Oh, God, I've got 3 hours.
Yeah. So I only bring it up because they're obviously connecting a lot of the dots now. And so obviously, I think that's them trying to connect the dots of like, if they do a Daredevil movie, it's going to be like Matt Murdock and Kingpin and stuff. But
we've got one episode of Hawkeye left. We have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Because the fact that Yelena was hired to kill Clint.
Hawkeye, yeah.
By her mother. Now we're just getting to Hawkeye spoilers. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought that was.
Which we'll do a short bonus stuff for.
Yeah.
Hawkeye once Hawkeye's done.
Well, we've only got one left, so it should be soon. Keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Or an ear. This is a podcast.
Well, yeah. So that's pretty much gonna do it for Spider-Man.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything I want to talk about.
Yeah. So overall, well, again, you don't have to. I know you said you couldn't place it, but like F through an A. What do you?
I got an A-.
Okay. Yeah, that's about what I was thinking was an A-. There was definite things that could have been done a little different. And I don't know, just like some of the stuff was kind of like, all right. But for the most part, amazing movie. Definitely recommend seeing it. I won't 100%. Probably pay to see it again.
Right.
But like if a group of people wanted to go and none of them have seen it, like I maybe would swing it, but like I'm not going to go out of my way to see it again. Whereas I saw Endgame in theaters 3 times.
Oh yeah.
So
I
again,
usually see every Marvel movie twice.
But again, no knock on for people that are saying this is your favorite Marvel movie. That's awesome. Like I'm glad that
happy for you.
Yeah, I'm glad that you found a Marvel movie you enjoy that much. Yeah, just personally for me, it's in my top 3, but I don't think it could pass Endgame. But this is kind of the height of Phase 4. I mean, next movie is Doctor Strange 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, Electric Boogaloo. I don't know. I don't know what's after that.
I don't know. Look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up real quick as we wrap up here. Okay, Phase 4. It might be Ant-Man.
Into the quantum, whatever.
Yeah. So. Oh no, I'm sorry. So besides,
you lied to me.
I did lie to you. Yeah.
Good.
There actually is a movie before Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Comes out a month before.
Okay, so we got a trailer for Doctor Strange movie that comes out
but not
after this. We have jack
Yes.
shit on Thor.
Yeah, and then Black Panther got delayed. So
okay, well,
that
that's
state's
because
not right. Yeah, she broke her arm or something. Or
no,
broke something.
didn't
she break something?
She wasn't vaccinated.
Oh right, yeah, it was that whole thing.
And they wouldn't let her like cross lines or something.
Yeah, and then it's the Marvels, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, then Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then
there's a lot before Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, there's quite a few. And then there's all the TV, and then there's the TV shows. So next TV show is Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm. When's that come out?
Summer 2022. They don't have an exact date. They don't have there's no exact date yet.
What's the next TV show?
Yeah, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, What If Season 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Secret Invasion, and then the rest don't have release dates yet. So that's all the fun stuff that we have to look forward to with Phase 4 Marvel in movies and TV shows. And that'll wrap it up for this week. So any parting words before we do our send-off?
Please go to youtube.com/the Fandom Effect Podcast to watch the nice video I edited on my weekend at C2E2.
Yes, and subscribe to the YouTube
and
while you're there.
Subscribe, smash that motherfucking like button. I don't know what the YouTubers say.
Pretty much that. Smash that like button and subscribe. pretty much.
Please go watch it.
Yeah, and if you've made it this far, make sure whether you're listening on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, whatever it is, to like and subscribe and leave a review, because that stuff does help. And this will be the last. This is not the last episode because there'll be one next week for the end of December. But starting in January, Fandom Effect will be entering a pretty big long-term change where the description's going to change, how we record and what we record is going to change. Logo is currently being changed. Pretty much just revamping to dial down into some future plans, and so we're going to start changing and to fit those future plans, but not going away, just going through good old fun changes and stuff. If you do want to support the show, you can do so whether on our Patreon at Fandom Effect Podcast, which we're working. We actually have ideas and plans now of what to update the Patreon with, so you guys get more bang for your buck. Or you can buy our merch. You can go to teespring.com/ just go to teespring.com and then search for the Fandom Effect, and our store will pop up. Yeah. And you can buy our merch. Even when the logo does change, we are going to keep the old logo because, again, future things. We still need the old stuff for unknown reasons that you guys can't know about just yet.
Nope.
But there's plenty of ways to support the show. You can also catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BushidoGeek. You can catch Sam on Instagram at and on Facebook at Sam the Man Cosplay.
You can find me anywhere at Sam the Man Cosplay. Pretty simple.
Yeah. And I technically have an Instagram at Bushido Geek Cosplay. I just have been really lazy at activating it. And then we'll have an Instagram for the show pretty shortly. Eventually, yeah, because we realize that we need to get an Instagram for the show going. And just, new episodes every Friday, bright and early. But after starting the new year, potential release date change. So if we decide that, just pay attention to next week's episode, because that's when we'll officially announce on next week's episode what new day the podcast is going to come out. And that'll do it pretty much. So our little fandom experience, I guess, for this week is for you guys is to go watch Spider-Man. It's pretty simple and self-explanatory, but go on a Spider-Man binge watch. And then...
what did you say?
Spider-Man binge watch.
It sounded like you said going to Spider-Man bitch watch, and I was like, whoa,
I guess that too, but
damn.
yeah, I guess
You're
that too,
Spider-Man's
but
bitch now.
yeah, and then hit us up on Facebook or Twitter with who your favorite Spider-Man is.
Yeah, it's Andrew Garfield, but tell me anyways.
Yeah, but tell me anyways. And we'll see you guys next week. And yeah, that'll be it. We'll see you guys next week. That's it.
Bye.